Today we are making risotto al funghi. We're going to try to demystify the process of making risotto that so many people think is so difficult. We're going to start with about 1 cup of minced onion, 1 cup of arborio rice or cannaroli rice, which is a short grain rice from the Po Valley in Italy. We're going to have a little bit of butter, a little bit of minced garlic, a little white wine, and today we're going to use fresh chanterelle mushrooms, but you can use pretty much anything. You can use mushrooms, you could use vegetables, you could use seafood, you could even use meat, prosciutto, or cheeses, or just make a plain cheese risotto. So we're going to start with 2 tablespoons of olive oil, the cup of minced onion, and you'd be able to cut it any way you want. I like it fine so it just kind of blends in with the rice. And we're going to take and saute that so that we sweat the onion. We don't want any color on it because we want our risotto to turn out nice and white. Then we're going to add a touch of butter and a little bit of garlic. And then we need about 2 more tablespoons of olive oil. Then we're going to saute that till they're nice and translucent. The onion's color is kind of blended off, gotten kind of clear with the garlic. We didn't burn the garlic or brown the garlic, so it won't be bitter. And we will add 1 cup of arborio rice. This is a key step in making risotto because you need to saute the rice and cover it in the hot oil, and that breaks the starch coating on the rice, which will let the starch out so that the risotto becomes nice and creamy. The thing you have to remember about risotto is when you're making it, is it's a basic 3-to-1 ratio, 3 parts stock to 1 part risotto. And if you remember that, ratio, you'll be able to make risotto with anything. You're going to add the stock, the hot chicken broth, or water, you can use water too, in 3 parts. So 1 cup, 1 cup, and 1 cup in this case. Making sure our rice is nicely sauteed in the oil and the butter. We're going to deglaze it with a tablespoon or 2 of white wine. And then we're going to add our broth or stock in 3 parts. This is the part I think where people get a little intimidated in making risotto. All you have to do now is let it simmer on the stove, and as the rice cooks, the starch will come out of the rice and start to thicken up the broth, which makes your risotto nice and creamy. We don't want to add any of our flavorings yet because this is going to take a little while. You're probably looking at a time frame of about 20 to 25 minutes to do the whole process. We're also going to add fresh chanterelle mushrooms. These actual mushrooms are from Michigan. They were picked up north in Gaylord. We washed them so they're a little wet, so we didn't have any sand in our risotto. You could use shiitake mushrooms, cremini mushrooms, portobello mushrooms. They all will work great. We're going to finish our risotto with a little bit of fresh parsley and grated Parmesan Reggiano cheese. And you could use chives for this. You could use fresh thyme leaves would be beautiful at the end to put on. You make it nice and fragrant. Go well with the mushrooms. We'll have lobster mushrooms from northern Michigan up in the Gaylord area, which are a big kind of red, looks like a cooked lobster shell color. We also get wild oyster mushrooms, which are one of my favorites. Nice big white mushroom, as well as, of course, morels. And there are some porcinis, which are available in Michigan, but are harder to find. They're not as abundant as the chanterelles. Go ahead and add our mushrooms. just stir these in. When you're making the risotto, you don't want to make sure that you don't add your aromatics, your salt, your pepper, and your seasonings too early, because you're going to be reducing that stock down, and that will reduce the salt and the pepper content in the dish. So you want to kind of add it right at the end and correct your seasoning. Parmesan Reggiano cheese, which is the king of all the Parmesans in Italy. With the Parmesan, you saw it's kind of like flakes or shavings. All we do is take a big chunk and use a vegetable peeler on it, and you can shave it off nice and thin. I like our risotto's pretty soft and creamy, and I think with my experience in Italy, that seems to be the way they like it. You can go ahead and serve it. Add your little bit of fresh herb, a little bit of shaved Parmesan. Voila, you have risotto al funghi.